Hello everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda. Today I am in my garden and I am about to plant a tree. I showed in a previous video where I had purchased a cherry tree, and I am very excited about this cherry tree because it is a variety that you do not have to have a pollinator for. A lot of the cherry trees you have to have at least two for them to pollinate each other in order for you to get fruit. And as I told you in a previous video, I had two cherry trees and I planted them, but they were both the same variety of cherry trees, but one died immediately. I should have taken them back to the store, but I did not. And cherries are one of my favorite fruits, and so I would love to be able to come out here and pick out some cherries and snack on them directly from the garden. But hopefully this is all taken care of now, because I do have a new cherry tree that I purchased recently, and I am about to plant it out here in the garden. It has been sitting out here. It's been getting a lot of water. It's been getting rained on, so it is okay, but it needs to get in the ground. And you all, I have decided that I am going to start putting a lot of my trees in the ground. I did get just a little bit of fruit off some of these trees, like my apple. It's in the ground, but I got some fruit off of it. The peaches were looking like they were very promising, had some beautiful fruit on them. Something robbed those trees, so I guess that, it wasn't the tree's fault. It was that something came in and got the fruit. But we just wanted you to know, if you decide to plant any fruit trees or anything that you got to do a lot of digging for in your garden, before you start digging or in your yard, call 811. Your 811 center will let you know. They will come out and they will check the area to make sure that the area is clear of all utility lines, because you don't want to come out here and dig and mess up a power line, or you could get hurt if you start digging without checking to make sure that there are power lines under the ground. Make sure that you call your 811 center, and they will give you instructions of what to do. And what I was told to do is to mark it some sort of way. I could mark it by putting some paint on the area, mark it with an X or something with some, spray paint, orange or white. Basically, I don't think they gave me a particular color, but once I did it in orange, I think I did it in white. But the last time, I just got something simple as this. I just didn't want to go and look for anything. But you could put something out like this, mark it, to mark your spot. You could use just tie a rag around it. If you got some flags that you have, some of those little orange flags that you use to mark things in your yard, you can use some of those. And I think those come pretty reasonable at the store when you can find them. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cherry tree in the ground. I have some other trees I'm going to be planting, but this is kind of an experiment on the moringas. I'm going to see if those moringa trees will survive throughout our winter. At the rate that the fall is going, they have a pretty good chance of making it through the winter if we don't get any hard freezes this winter. But I'm going to plant these trees, and I'm going to take you all along with me. So y'all, let's get started. And this is the cherry tree that I have, and it is called a Lapins cherry. It needs full sun exposure, plant in moist, well-drained soil. And so it gets 15 to 20 feet tall. I think that this is going to be a perfect spot for it, because it will be right here where it'll be getting the sun coming in from the east. Although there are some trees that are over here to the far east, but there still will be plenty of sunlight coming in on this plant most of the day. So we're going to go ahead and get it planted, and I'm going to plant these moringa trees, and these are some that I planted, started from seed during the summer, and they have been sitting over there, and they should have built up some very strong roots by now. Don't see very much on that one. Okay, you can see the roots better on that one. But yes, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to plant these, and like I said, this is going to be an experiment to see if these trees will survive and come back next summer. So let's go ahead and get these planted. I bought some fertilizer out here that I'm going to be putting in my hole. I'm going to put the moringas right there, and I'm going to put the cherry right here. So the cherry's gonna go right here, and the moringas are gonna go over there next to those peppers. So let's go ahead and get started. There are a few weeds over here in the area, but I don't think that they are going to do anything. They're not gonna hurt this tree. And I'm glad that the soil is moist enough because if I had tried to plant this more than a week ago, it would have been too dry. And you see, the reason why you want to make sure that you call, because most of the time you're planting trees like this tree that I'm planting, like this cherry tree, you're going to have to dig a pretty deep hole. So please make sure that you call and get clearance on the area that you are going to plant in, or you just go out and dig that hole. And it's for your safety as well as protecting the lines or having to pay, because they might charge you if they have to come out because you have damaged the lines. Let's see if that hole is deep enough for this tree. It is very close. I'm going to dig just a little bit more. I gotta keep an eye out for my surroundings, y'all. I do believe that that is going to be deep enough. So let me move the tree from this container. think that's gonna be a good fit. Okay, so now we're just gonna start backfilling. I think I want to loosen that root ball up just a little bit. But it's okay. The root ball is fine. It is nice and loose. Only thing I did forget though, I forgot to add my fertilizer. So y'all, let's go ahead and get some fertilizer in here before I completely get this tree in here. And this is some of my garden tone. Y'all, the best time to plant is during the fall months. That's the best time to plant your trees. That doesn't mean you can't plant them at other times, but you don't want to plant them when it's really hot. You can plant them in the winter because you can plant them when they're dormant, and that'll be perfectly fine. You just don't want to plant them in the heat of the summer. And y'all, I planted my weeping willow. It was fall, but it was still warm, and so we did have some very hot days after I planted that weeping willow, so it has struggled. But I've been giving it a lot of water, keeping it water really good. Okay, so I'm just backfilling this plant, backfilling my hole. Go ahead and put all my soil back around this plant. But I do not want to put it too high around the bottom of the plant. Make sure that the area where that looks like this little knot, we don't want to cover that up. Okay, I bought my scissors over here so that I can go ahead and cut these ties off that they have around. They have some zip ties on here. Okay, this one is a rubber band. That was a rubber band. The other one was a rubber band too. So these are not so tight. So I'm going to leave this other rubber band on here. As a matter of fact, I think I'll get another zip tie and put on here. I just want to make sure that it's not too tight. I'm going to take this one out too because I want it to be the way I want it. I want it to lean how I want it to lean. I want this tree staked how I want it staked and not the way that it was staked, you know, for transport. So I'll put my stake right here. I do want this tree to be able to blow in the wind, and that way it will get strong. I don't want it completely immobile, but I do want it to be staked some. So I'm going to put a stake, I'm going to stake it to the zip tie. But first I'm going to go ahead and give you some water. And get it watered in really good. And I will bring my drip over here and connect it to this tree. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pop in these 4 moringa trees. And I told you all how this planter was in need of some rejuvenation. So today, we're going to give it to it. I have been putting it off, and I have been looking at this planter and being dissatisfied with it. And I am going to go ahead and today, I'm going to see if I can help this planter out. Because see, you can see how it looks all scared, skimpy. And I think that the biggest problem is that this soil is old and it needs some fresh soil. It's compacted. So first thing we're gonna do is to remove these plants that still look really good. We're gonna reuse them. I mean, that plant look real healthy. This one's not so great, but it's not terrible. Okay, we got an onion in here. I'm gonna take some of this soil out. And we will reuse this soil. We're just not gonna have it in here being at the top of this planter. This soil would do fine placed in the bottom of another planter as a filler. Or it can go back into the compost to compost down some more. This little onion's trying to hold on. It wants to stay in this planter. You coming out, little onion. You can go somewhere else. Okay. I had to see what's going on with my chickens. Caleb was over there putting them in. I didn't know he was out here. But he is putting the chickens in for the evening. Okay. I also want to make sure that part of the problem is not my hose, my drainage hose in the bottom, because the drainage hose can come stopped up. I tell you what, we're just gonna take all of this soil out so that we can have a fresh start, because this will be fine in the bottom of a raised bed or somewhere. But see, can you see all these roots? These roots are part of the problem. I'm just gonna give this planter a fresh start. Now this is the soil that is here. It's okay. I got some fresh soil right here. And then you don't want to overfill your planter. This planter was overfilled with soil. And I had did that because I did not just start fresh from, you know, when I planted these plants in this planter this season, I did not start fresh. I just went ahead and added some more soil. So sometimes you just want to go ahead and just start fresh. In some cases, you may be able to start to do it like that, but most cases, it's best to start fresh because as you can see, I'm ended up having to do it anyway. Okay, so now since I have fresh soil in here, it's not overfilled. Go ahead and put me some blood meal in here. And some of the garden tone. Just work it in. Okay, let's start with our beautiful purple. Put it right here in the center. Then we got this burgundy. These I do well. This is one of them's gonna be a purple. And I got some scissors over here. I also have some pruners, but I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm going to remove these spent blooms. Get some of this yellow out. Just kind of deadheading this plant. And then just pop it in. And do the same thing for this one. Get some of the dead out. And just pop it into the planter. Okay, so now I got some fresh flowers over here that they have been sitting out in the rain for a week. These are pretty root bound. Got some yellow at the bottom. I do want some instant color in here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pop this in. Go ahead and remove some of this from the bottom. I probably should go ahead and use the scissors so that I won't tear up my plant. And then break the root up some. Go ahead and pop it in. Now this one has not opened up yet, so it's gonna be opening up real soon. It'll be real pretty, give us some nice color. I'm just gonna pop it in right here. So you know I wanna go ahead, I wanna get this container filled up so that I won't be feeling the way I've been feeling about it when I come out. I look and I see it, and every time I get to it, it gives me a feeling of, you know, you need to do something to that. And so now, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, it will have filled out. Maybe even sooner, because as I told you all, we got quite a few days left. Now this one has already been spent. That's spent flowers. So I'll go ahead and I'll deadhead this. And sometimes when they're like this, you can go ahead and cut them back some more, and they will just come back just more fresh and beautiful. So let's give this one just a little cut. We're gonna leave some leaves on there for photosynthesis, but we're going to give it a hard cut, and we're gonna put it right here we'll put it right here in the front so that we'll be looking for this one that we gave the hard cut and see how pretty it'll be looking in about a week. Go ahead and get some of these off the bottom. Go ahead and open up their root system some. We're gonna put all of these in. Pop this orange one right here. Move some of these off the bottom. That is a spent flower. We're gonna go ahead and cut it. That one still got a pretty show. We're gonna just stick it in here, just like that. And these don't have any flowers on them. And one of the flowers is a spent flower. This one, I think that one's also one. I think that's just a flower that has died and just fell over in here. So these plants kind of suffered out here in the rain, and they had not been potted, and they already were root bound, so they suffered out here. It is best to go ahead, if you can, get your plants planted. And I have a lot of plants out here that are needing to be planted. Y'all, even my onions are over here looking like they are begging me, like, would you please plant us? And you all know, let me show you. You all know I put these onions into these cells, and I put one in each cell. But y'all, these onions look so good to me. And it's like they're begging me, please put us in, but they're not going in, not right now. Okay, we got room for 2 more. Let's take some of these off the bottom that are looking pretty bad. That plant is looking good at the top. It's been looked like it's been dead-headed. So it might have gotten dead-headed before I purchased it. So I'm going to pop this one right here in between these two. Just pop it in and put the soil back around it. And I got room for one over here. Move these at the bottom. Maybe I shouldn't have got that one. Okay. Open up that root ball. Okay, so this already looks a whole lot better. I feel a whole lot better about this planter right now. Don't have to look at it like it's not beautiful, because it is beautiful now. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna water it in. And since it's already been having some problems, since it's been getting rained on, I'm just trying to get it right in at the root instead of watering it overhead. Okay, so now this planter is happy again, and I am happy for it because it looks so much better. And it will fill out even more in the weeks to come. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video today, and that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.